Okay, so I finally got an out-of-body experience. Lately they've been giving me lucid dreams, but I haven't gotten an out-of-body experience in a while. And this being that gave me this experience, he's given them to me before because he took me out of body the same way. Like he somehow sucks my astral body and mind consciousness out of my brain, and then I start flying through the air, and it's a total blast. And he's done the same thing before. He's taken me down and showed me like a house, but that's all he did, so I never did talk about that experience because it was so quick. Well, he did the same thing in this experience, except it was longer and better. I don't think it was Joel that gave me this experience, but it was a different reptilian that gave it to me. And he also made me think of some sexual thoughts and stuff when I was in the experience. But anyway, yeah, it's been a while since I've gotten an out-of-body experience because they've been giving me lucid dreams, but no freaking out-of-body experience. And I thought it happened around 8 a.m. in the morning, and I thought I was too awake. You know, I had my eyes closed, but I thought I was like completely awake. I must not have been completely awake, because otherwise, it's hard for them to take you like that. But they've taken me like that before when I thought that I was just way too awake. Because lots of times, back several years ago, whenever I would go out of body and shoot off out of body and travel through the black galaxy, and then boom, I would land in a virtual reality dimension or whatever, or scenario, and that's what I was doing. I would get up, break the sleep cycle, I would lay back down, and then just boom, right before I fell asleep, I would go out of body. I would just, shoot off out of body in the black galaxy. It was a total blast. But now it's like they're taking me differently. But, yeah, so now this being, he likes to take me when I feel like I'm totally awake, but my eyes are closed. He takes me like that, I guess, once I fall into that perfect grogginess state, but I thought I was way too awake. But apparently not. So I had my eyes closed and I was talking to them like, hey, any gray beings, any reptilian beings want to come give me an experience, or any other beings, an out-of-body experience. And the reptilians, they'll do it, for shits and grins. The grays seem to do it, maybe not so much for shits and grins, but the reptilians will. So I don't know what being gave me this experience, but I know it was a reptilian. I don't know what his face looks like or anything. It wasn't Joel that gave it to me, because I know his style too much. So, yeah, so I thought I was way too awake. I was laying there about 8 a.m. I thought I was way too awake to even get an experience. At least at that moment, I thought I would have had to have, gotten to a slightly groggier state. But anyway, so it was about 8 a.m. and then next thing I know, I had my eyes closed and I was talking to them. The next thing I know, boom, I'm just, like I say, they somehow kind of suck, or he does, he sucks my astral body and everything out through my head, so to speak. And then boom, next thing I knew, I was just flying like crazy through the sky, which was a total blast. And this part wasn't being controlled because, yeah, so I was flying through the sky, and super high. I was pretty damn high, and I was flying through the sky. It wasn't sunny, but it wasn't dark either. It was like, just daytime, but cloudy, so to speak, I guess. And so anyway, the whole time I was flying, I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I freaking finally got one out of many, many months. Since it's been many months or whatever. And so I kept flying and flying. Oh yeah, and I was flying really, really, really fast too. You can astral travel at very, many, many speeds. At many, many speeds, just whatever they want you to travel at. Okay, so I was flying really, really fast, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna have some fun. So I started like, trying to do backflips and stuff, and oh my god, and I got like I was going left, so I guess you could say I was going west. I kept flying really fast west. And And yeah, so I got all contorted and stuff. I was like, I threw my arms back. And like I say, I was going super fast. So I was getting all contorted because I kept trying to do backflips and stuff. And it was kind of hard since I was going at a high rate of speed. And so I was like upside down and like flying all contorted and stuff. And so that part, I think I had total control over that. I don't think that part was being controlled, so to speak. So then, next thing I know, he must have straightened me up, or somehow I straightened myself up. And then I was flying, on my stomach again, like normally, really fast. And, but that was pretty gnarly to, like, be able to, well, once you get really good at this, once you know you're out of body and stuff, you can try those experiments, like do backflips and all that. It's a total blast. Okay, so anyway, next thing I know, I look down, and I see this big old neighborhood, but it was nothing like, it did not seem like my grandma's real neighborhood. It was, a different neighborhood. I mean, it was my grandma's neighborhood, but like sometimes, like I've astral traveled before back in 2004, and they've taken me over my neighborhood, like when I was living in Kansas City, and it did totally seem like my neighborhood. It seemed like I was still in 3D or something. But this, so anyway, I started getting closer and closer to the neighborhood. So I looked down, I saw a neighborhood, but I flew, I kept flying past it. And then I was thinking, okay, weren't we supposed to stop at that neighborhood? Because I figured that was my destination. And so sure enough, he veered me back. And then I started, flying closer and closer and closer. And, as I was looking at the neighborhood, I started flying closer and closer and closer to the neighborhood. Like I say, it was my grandma's neighborhood, but it didn't really seem, it seemed different in the experience. And, but yeah, so that was kind of cool because when I flew past the neighborhood, I looked down and saw this big old neighborhood because I started to see houses and everything. And he took me right past it, and I'm thinking, that's probably where I was supposed to land. So anyway, like I said, he veered me back the opposite direction, and then I started, over the neighborhood, and I started flying lower and lower and lower, and all the houses became clearer and clearer and clearer. And the whole neighborhood and everything became clearer. Well, he didn't show me the outside of her house. What the deal was, he just plopped me down into the den. This is my grandma's den right there. And she had the big old desk over here. But in the scenario, when he plopped me down into the den, there was a radio and a table in the corner. And there was another table over here with half a banana, and I was about to pick it up and eat it, but I didn't. And so this was the really weird part. Like, there was a radio on the table, and Michael Jackson was singing. And, but it was like an odd song, and I was even thinking in my head, I was like, wow, this song, the alien created, because Michael Jackson has never made up this song before. He's never created this song. So it was a unique song that I've never even heard before. It was something the Reptilian somehow created. And it was Michael Jackson. And then I walked away past, a little ways past into the den, and then I walked back, and then I kind of started listening closer and closer and closer, and then it started to sound like a different artist. I don't know what artist the second time around. But anyway, that was kind of weird, and that was kind of cool. But yeah, so like, why he flew me past the neighborhood, like, he probably just did that to be funny or something, but I knew that was probably my destination, because I always know when they take me astral traveling, I always know I'm going to end up in a virtual reality scenario. So, but yeah, the neighborhood, when I looked down at the neighborhood and all the houses, it didn't seem like in real life or anything. But anyway, so he first plops me down into the den, and my grandma used to have the big old metal 5,000-pound table right there. I mean, desk right there. But so in this scenario, it was just like as if, my grandma had already died and everything, but the only thing that was left in her house was just a few little boxes in each room. Like, all the big shit was already taken out. And of course, I went over there many times when, in real life, when that was the deal. you know, they already got all the big, huge stuff out of the house, and then my mom went in, packed up all the small boxes. So in the scenario, that's exactly the way it was. There was no big items left in the house. It was just small. There was some stuff, like dishes and stuff in the kitchen, but there was just small boxes like that all around in all the rooms and stuff. Okay, so anyway, I want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. So anyway, yeah, like I said, I looked down and saw half a banana on another desk right there, and I was gonna like eat it, but I didn't. I just thought about it. Okay, so then I start walking into the kitchen, like right here, right around the corner, and I saw some more boxes laying down, and I thought, you know, no, over here is the wall, and that's used to be the big hutch, but you can't see it in this picture. Here's the kitchen right here. And the big dining room, or not dining room, the area where you put the table and stuff. Well, over here was the big hutch, but the hutch wasn't there. It was just some small boxes like that. Well, anyway, I thought to myself, okay, you know, because when I'm out of body and stuff, I always like to pick things up physically, and I always like to do things to see if it still shatters and all that when I'm still out of body and stuff, you know. So anyway, I picked up a glass, about just like that one right there, and I threw it down. I just threw it down on the, you know, on the floor. And sure enough, it shattered just like normal 3D. It shattered. So that was very cool. And so it did shatter. Okay, and then I proceeded to like look around the kitchen, and there was some silverware and stuff still on the table and everything, but it was basically all empty. There was just a few little boxes here and there, and that's exactly how it was in real life and stuff after they came in and got all the big stuff. And then, you know, each room just had a few little boxes left that my mom, you know, boxed up and stuff. Okay, so then I veered around to, I went through the dining room, and then I went in the living room. And here's the living room right here, and there was some more boxes right here. And yeah, it's really weird, and this is weird. I found this on the internet, but even in the scenario, it had like some straw type of things that were like big, like looked like big straws or something in the box. But anyway, so I just kind of started looking through the boxes, but anyway, through the scenario, it's like he was making me think of some sexual thoughts and stuff. It was really weird. But I'm trying to think. I didn't go into her bedroom. I didn't go into any bedrooms except for the den, which is really a bedroom, but she made it into a den. And then I went into the kitchen, and then I went into the living room right here. And I didn't go into any other room, but I'm trying to make sure if I didn't forget anything, because this was a pretty quick experience, but still, I thought it was kind of unique because of the Michael Jackson song, and I knew that it was something very unique that he's never sang before. It's like the alien made it up or something. And well, like I say, the second cool thing is I was trying to figure out, I'm trying to remember if anything happened in the living room, but I'm trying to remember if I forgot anything, but I don't think I did. But the cool thing was the Michael Jackson song, and then the cool thing was when I when I threw down the glass, and it did shatter just like normal 3D. And then, like I said, I went through the dining room and into over this area in the living room, and there was still some boxes, and for whatever reason I kept looking through the boxes and stuff. I don't know why. Oh, okay, yeah, I knew I was forgetting something, damn it. Okay, so anyway, the other cool thing was, of course, was when I was flying really fast through the sky. The reason why I got so contorted was because I was going so fast, and I just, you know, I ended up like upside down, you know, flying upside down and shit, because I was trying to do flips, and you can't try to do flips and stuff at that high rate of a speed. Okay, so I knew I was forgetting something, but okay, so now I remembered it. Okay, so like I said, this wasn't one of the best experiences I ever gotten, but it was still pretty unique because of the glass, throwing the glass down, and because of Michael Jackson. And like I say, I do have posters in my... I had posters from when I was 9 or 10 years old in the garage, which, you know, every time I come home from work or whatever, you know, I happen to see them and everything, so I guess that's why the alien put Michael Jackson in my scenario. So anyway, so the last kind of cool thing was, so after he plops me down right here into the den, after I go into the kitchen, then I go to the dining room, and around the corner you come into the living room, and these are real pictures of my grandma's house. And right here, for like I say, for whatever reason, I was stumbling through boxes that look just like this, by the way, with books in them, and like look like big straws. And so here's the cool part. Well, I mean, it was kind of strange, but all of a sudden I was having a hard time breathing. And I was like, I wonder if the experience was about to be over with. Because this has happened before, where they'll put me in virtual reality scenario, you know, out of body experience, and sometimes I can even literally, like, even though I'm separated, my astral body is separated in the scenario, like even back in bed, I can still feel myself like having a hard time breathing. That's happened before too. But in this scenario, my whole astral body, you know, I was having all of a sudden after I started like fumbling through the boxes, I started to have a hard time breathing. And so that's when I started thinking, I wonder if the experience is about to be over with. Well, sure enough, it was over with and I was back into my bed. And that's not the first time that I've had a hard time breathing, you know, under the experiences. And I don't know why they do that or whatever. But anyway, so, like I said, I don't think I'm forgetting anything else, but I knew I was forgetting something. When I was over here in the last part of the scenario, that's why I paused for a while, and it came back to me, because I wanted to talk about that part. How I had a hard time breathing. And like I say, I don't know why they do that, but this has happened millions of times that they've done this. But anyway, so, yeah, this experience was kind of quick, but lately they've just been giving me lucid dreams. And so finally, I got an out-of-body experience. And it was totally, totally fun. So thanks for listening.